Hi, if you followed me for a while, you all know me for making devlogs of this game, but after working on it for a while, I got a bit lost, I felt impatient and couldn't finish the game, so I decided that this shit wouldn't work and I should make a new fucking game. A smaller one that doesn't take forever to finish. So to make a game, you need to decide what your game is supposed to be, which in this case, I want to make a roguelike game. And as I've always wanted to make a game where you can build your own weapon and customize how it works, I'm gonna make a roguelike game where you can collect parts for your weapons and put them together to build your own gun. With that idea in mind, I hopped on Unity and created a new project. And then I started off by creating a player, which is a fucking ball, because balls are so fat they remind me of your mama. Then I used some simple lines of code so you can move it with your keyboard, and there you have it, a player. I ended up drawing a simple cat to replace your mama, just so you don't get emotional damage for playing my game. Added some animation using first grade math to make the cat look more lively when it's moving, and now it's all good. Then I drew some grass using Aseprite so you can touch grass in game and use Unity tiling system to create a grass field for the player to walk on. Went on YouTube, watched some tutorial, decided that Unity tiling system is stupid because you can't freaking generate a random field with it, and finally made my own tiling system instead. With my own tiling system, we finally have a beautiful grass field that can actually be randomly generated. The next thing I made is this map generator, which is a must for every single roguelike game. This map generator can procedurally generate rooms connected together to form interesting maps for the player to explore. A room is made of 1 to 4 cells and connection between rooms are displayed as small white dots as you can see here. And then all I had to do to finish the map generator is to create a room generator. And now I can easily generate each room on the map. I've also added those white boxes, which are actually just portals, so you can travel between rooms. I'll retexture them later on, but for now I don't want to, so they're just gonna look lame like that. With that done, I can finally work on the core mechanics of the game. The crafting mechanics. And holy shit, this mechanic is a fucking horror to implement. Like, I keep getting the same damn bug again and again. Yeah, I just give up. Whatever, I'll just work on it later. At least I managed to make this crafting UI with the Unity UI system and got the player to shoot projectiles when you click. Anyway, it's time to make some enemies so you can go pow pow and make them go ouch. So I drew some birds in Aseprite, don't ask me why birds, and they look oddly familiar. So I added one of them to the scene and you can start pushing him around. He's the simplest enemy in this game. He cannot do anything other than jump at the player trying to deal collision damage, and it's still very boring right now. So it's time to add other enemies. I started off by dragging them into the scene just so they could stand still looking at the player because I haven't coded their AI yet and they look dumb as fuck, especially this retard. Then I gave them some lineup code for movement, and now they're following you around, pushing you out of bounds because I was lazy and didn't give the walls hitbox. I also gave some of them weapons, and now they are looking pretty freaking sick. From my past experience making video games, the animation part is the part that takes most of my time, so for me to make this game quick, I have to ditch it and make simpler animations using code instead. And that's how I animated the gun reload like this. I also gave the characters simple squash and strike animations instead of giving them actual frame-by-frame animation, and to be honest, it's looking pretty sick. And then it's time to come back to fix the crappy crafting mechanic. I fixed all the bugs, and now it's working perfectly. Hopefully. At least now I have the base mechanic, but I only made like 2 crafting components for the testing, so crafting feels kinda lame right now. You can put this on the crafting table and it makes your bullets spin, or use this to make the bullets fly faster. And you can connect both of them like this, and the projectiles will fly faster and also spin. Finally, I gave the enemies the ability to shoot projectiles. And when it hits a player, the player loses some health. Since I haven't added hurt animation yet, the cat doesn't seem to be taking damage at all, but after getting shot for a while, the player will disappear. And Unity starts to spam a bunch of stupid errors for no reason. Anyway, after tackling all the stupid errors, I worked on all the other enemies as well, and it's starting to look pretty fun to play the game. I have also added hitbox to the walls, so now they can't push you out of the map anymore, and the projectiles will also get destroyed when they hit the walls. And you know that this game is a roguelike game, so obviously we can't ever have enough of enemies in this game, and so I made a crap tons of enemies. I made a lot of interesting ones like this ninja duck who threw balls at your face, a giga chuck, some weird ass snake, a literal blaze with muscular body and a chicken head, and a lot more. Not until I made around 40 or so enemies that I found out about one stupid thing in Unity, and it's this shit. For some reason, in my mind, I thought this was to smoothly transform objects. So I used this to create movement for every single one of my animations. Turns out, for some stupid reason, LERP actually stands for linear interpolations or something, whatever, like, what the hell? If you call it lint, it would have made way more sense. Why the fuck would you name it LERP? So that basically means that it doesn't make your animation smooth, it makes your animation feel robot-like and mechanical. Each enemy has around 10 of these LERP functions, so I have to fix this shit like 500 times. And I didn't notice it because it's actually not that much different. Anyway, in the end, after I'm done with the LERP problem, I've made around 50 enemies until I got bored and worked on something else. Like adding shadows, creating some UI and menus so you can pause, change options, or exit the game. Since all the crafting components you have for now are these two worthless pieces of shit, I made a bunch more of them, each having different effects on your projectile, and you can combine them like this and give them multiple effects at once. For example, with this combination, I made the projectile follow the enemy, leaving a trail and knock enemies away when it hits. Then I made it so that you can actually pick them up. And I also made some chests so you can open them and get the items. Then I decorated the map with some flowers and trees, making the map look a lot more lively and fun to play. Currently, when you play the game, it kinda just throws you into the map right away, so I made a map where you can run around before playing the game. My friend said my decoration looked awful, so he offered to help, and so I let him. Heh, free labor. And he made this impressive map with the worst asset I had.
Nice.
Sometimes I get lost in the game while trying to run around the map, so I made a minimap. I also want to make it so that you can teleport around visited room, but I was lazy and it takes way too much time for it, so maybe I'll add it later. Currently, the enemies just disappear when they die, and that looks stupid, so let me fix that with some particle system. Ideally, I want to have proper corpses, but that means I have to make a corpse for every single one of them, so yeah, maybe leave that for later. The portals also look dumb right now, they're literally just white boxes, so again, I fix that with particle system. Yeah, the particle system is literally the solution to everything right now. By the way, Steam Fest is coming very soon, and I've applied to participate in it. And they need my game to have a Steam page, so I made a crappy Steam page where you can go ahead and wishlist the game, link in the description. Participating in Steam Fest also required a demo, and the demo needed to have a tutorial. Else people would have no idea how to play the game. So I had to make a tutorial even when I didn't want to. And for some stupid reason, they need to review my demo, and the process could take up to 1 week, so I didn't have time to make a proper tutorial before uploading it for review. And so I made the worst tutorial possible, using some signs. And another big problem is that someone who plays my game for the first time probably had no idea how the fuck this shit works. So I made a long ass paragraph explaining how you are supposed to use the crafting table. So unless you're literally illiterate, you can probably understand how to play the game now. Ideally, I want to make a proper tutorial, but I had no time, so yeah, again, later. I'm pretty happy with the current game, so I tried to play the game for a bit, and I found out that I can't hear shit. So I made the worst sound effects possible, and called that a day. And by made, I meant literally went to freesound.org, wrapped a bunch of random sounds, and put it into the game. Also, a game without music is kinda dull, so I sold my left kidney and hired a music composer to make this masterpiece that the game definitely doesn't deserve, and holy shit. That was beautiful. The Steam Fest is actually starting today, so I've already had the demo of the game on my Steam page. So if you are interested, you can look it up on Steam or click the link in the description and go try it out for yourself. The demo is supposed to be limited in features, so don't assume that the final game would be as crappy as that. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like the video if you like, dislike if you don't, and smash the subscribe button before I smash you.